What I was thinking tonight earlier is I was taking a look at all the people. Now you all know this, right? FB lead gen just kind of, popped out of the woodwork about a week ago, a little over a week ago, right? A little over a week ago, maybe 10 days ago. And I was thinking it was probably about 10 days premature, but it got launched about 10 days ago, even when we were just still kind of fine tuning and things like that. And one of the fascinating things I want to share with you all tonight, talk about testimonials. Money drives this industry. Have seen high ticket programs. Nobody cares about the products in high ticket programs. They care about the testimonials of the money. That's what drives those programs. So I'm going to do a little bit of driving tonight too. So what was really fascinating, even though we weren't really fully developed in the back office or fully developed in fine tuning and kind of nicking some of the bugs out in the system and stuff like that. And that's just me being honest and transparent. I'm not going to come in here and grease you with Vaseline like somebody else might. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? So we weren't quite there yet, but still it was pretty fascinating to watch because our top money earners, like people have been taking money out every day. I've been watching this. I see this every day. I get to see it every day because I help create the program, right? So I'm seeing this every day, and I'm watching, and I'm seeing somebody take out $2,200 and $900 and $4,200 and $1,700, $1,764. I'm watching all this money, just going out the back door here, and I'm going like, we really haven't even fine-tuned this. And then we got some really big names in the industry here. Like some of you are sitting on the call right now that have done really well. And there's others that never come to calls. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a second too. So when I took a look at the people, like we had one person that popped out, well, I don't know, $6,000 like in 3 days, probably 2.5 days. And I'm looking at this and I'm going like, wow, this is pretty interesting stuff, right? So I'm studying this. I'm not blown away by the dollars and cents. It's not that big of money as opposed to what people are doing in high ticket, possibly. But you know what? For something where the restaurant hasn't been fully stocked yet with food and beverages and stuff, that's pretty good. So I'm looking at this and I'm going like, the people that are making all the money here, 2, 3,000, 6,000, 4,000, what are these people like? This is the way my brain works. All right. I hope I'm not wasting your time tonight, but I want you to understand who's making money and who's not. And so the ones that are making money, I notice they never come to calls. I notice I never talk to them. I notice I don't have a relationship with most of them, right? And it's really really fascinating. And the people that are making the money here aren't very articulate. They're not charismatic. They're not evangelical. They're not they're not teachers or mentors of this industry. I can tell you that. They're performers and recruiters. They're very good at what they do. They're exceptional at what they do, recruiting. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm sitting here saying to myself, well, why did this person make $5,400 and this person made 6 grand? This person made, $2,200. I'm saying, what's going on here? Why isn't everybody doing that? And so, why isn't everybody doing that? Because what these people have, they definitely don't have the charismatic evangelical approach to speaking. You would never see any of them on stage that I'm aware of speaking to an audience. You might, they would be name recognition, but they're usually laid back. You know what I mean? And that's a great lifestyle to be able to be laid back and you don't have to be in the limelight. So the really cool thing about that is the reason why they're making all the dough, they've got a list. And they don't just have a list, they have a premium list. And they don't just have a premium list, they have the list. And they don't just have the list, they've got a list of all network marketing affiliate people. They don't have a list of people looking for a job. They don't have a list of people that are tire kickers on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or other social media platforms, excuse me, where they're just kind of, looky-loos and gonna sneeze, tour takers and tire kickers and things like that. They've got the prima lists of the industry. And because they're used to going in and making all this money, wham bam, thank you, ma'am, type of thing, you know what I mean? They're really good at what they do. And so that totally edifies my whole theory and philosophy, what lead gen is all about. It really, really does, because the people that are working hard, they copy and paste, they go out in the Facebook groups, and they're hoping to get a new person here and a new person there. And some people are sponsoring 17, 18 people a day, 9, 10, 20 people a day, because they're running a list. Name anyone you know on Facebook right now that's making $1 million a year, $100,000 a year or more. Plus, they have fabulous lists. So, with what we're doing here at FB Lead Gen, we're doing something really cool because it is so generic, developing this community. There's the word community. It's like getting paid just to be on Facebook with your profile. So what Mark didn't do, what Facebook didn't do, is they didn't create a compensation plan, and they didn't create the community where we would pay monthly to be on it. Not even $5 a month or $10 a month, but we found a way to do that. But what we decided to do is we said, hey, listen, yeah, we'll attach a compensation plan to it. And if Jeremy's on the call here, I'll find out in a little bit, not right now, the second, because we're recording. He can talk about it in the comp plan. But here's the deal. Imagine being a part of a community where you get access to everybody in the community. Well, almost everybody in the community, and how that would work. This is really, really cool, what I mean by how that would work. So we've got a community, FB Lead Gen, all right? You subscribe to it for $50, all right? Stay with me on this. And everybody that comes in after you activate your time-dated stamp position in the program, you get access to everybody, not just people in your network underneath you in your matrix. You get company-wide from everyone after you that comes in. First name, last name, email address, and their Facebook profile. And I'll tell you why that is so important, more than going out and buying a bunch of bogus leads that don't really exist. All right? You're getting the complete genealogy. So let's say you're number 500. You come in and you're number 500. And then let's say the company goes from 500 to 1,200. So what does that mean? It means 700 additional people came in. Whether they're in your lineage or your matrix or not, it doesn't matter. You will get access to those 700 people. And not only access to the 700 people that are active in the business that have paid $50 also, you're also going to get access, and I just confirmed this tonight. This is kind of cool. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but the programmer obviously did a little, put a cherry on top of everything. You get access to all the free members too that come in after you. They don't get access to the list because they're free members. They get access to nothing. But because you're a paid $50 a month subscriber, you get access to all the people that came in after you, paid subscribers, and all the free tour takers as well that are coming in from all over. So in my educated guess, those leads are worth $5 to $7. Somebody tried to tell me $10 earlier. Could be. I'm not here to debate that. I'm not here to, if they were $3. So if you got 700 people, I think Carlos is on the line tonight. I think he's out there tonight. And I think Jeremy told me he had 2,200 leads in his first week that he was able to extract. And if I have that number wrong, Carlos, I do apologize. I'm just going by the information that was relayed to me. And if that needs to be corrected, we can correct that. But anyhow, if it was 2,200, I'm sure it was. He's got 2,200, Facebook profiles out there, first name, last name, and email address. He can now reach out to via email, via Facebook profile. Hey, even if you're reaching out to 10 people a day, or if you're using some sort of automated, really cool software that will reach out to these people, it's great. And now I can get back to these people very easily. And I've got my friend Kelly here on the line from Tasmania. I could reach out to Kelly and say, hey, Kelly, how you doing? Val Smith here in Canada. Hey, listen, you're part of FB Lead Gen, and I'm a part of that community too. Throw in the word community. People love the word community. It's a soft approach. It's better than saying network. community. We're a part of a community where people want to be loved, nurtured, and accepted, right? So the bottom line is, it's a little bit of psychology there. If you're playing with the subconscious mind, you're being a little bit hypnotic at the same time too. So anyhow, I could reach out to Kelly and say, hey, Kel, I was wondering if I could add you as a friend and maybe become one of your followers, and maybe you could follow me too. So you're building up your list, you're building up, and this is really good for the new people out there that are part of the NFL club. They're able to connect with people all the time now. And, there's all kinds of different ways to market. Somebody asked me, they say, well, if I get all these leads that you're telling me, and yeah, I see there could be like, let's say there was 1,000 leads back there, multiply 1,000 times $2. If the leads are worth $2, first name, last name, email address, Facebook profile. If that's a $2 lead, which it's not, these are guaranteed networkers, not stay at home. Hey, give me a job. I'm unemployed. No, it's not that. These people are, networkers. How do I know that? Because they wouldn't be subscribing to what we're doing if they weren't. All right. But the really cool thing is there's multiple ways of reaching out to them. Many of you know your own methods of ways of reaching out to them, but you could do it indirectly. Like one of the things I do on my Facebook profile every now and then, I got to get back into doing it. I've been kind of sitting back for the last little bit, not really pumping out the information the way I should, but that's going to change. And I do a Facebook Live on your profile. And now you've got all these new friends. And now you've got all these new followers, and they're going to be able to see your Facebook Live. And if you don't want to do a Facebook Live because you don't feel comfortable like I'm doing right now, coming on here live and speaking, just ad-libbing something, maybe you want to go get your cell phone, and just record a video on your cell phone. Hi, hey guys, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Do your thing on there and then just upload the video onto your profile. If that's something you want to do, or you can do a YouTube one, but I wouldn't do a YouTube one. You can do YouTube. I mean, it's a phenomenal place to make money. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying for your Facebook feed, just, people will be watching you and watching you and watching you and watching you and watching you. And 3, 4, 5 weeks later, many of them will bite the bullet, and they will jump on board. And then somebody said to me, they said, well, here's the problem with your leads. Here's the problem with the leads that you guys are creating. All right. You always got to be one step ahead. I love playing chess. All right. It's always checkmate. I'm going to show you a checkmate here. All right. So somebody said to me, well, you've got all these networkers and they're already in other business opportunities. That's great. That's a phenomenal point. But if you know anything about network marketing, what do you know? I'm going to give you a second to think about what I'm going to say. I think some of you know where I'm going with this. You pick the number. I'm just going to say 97%. No, I'm not going to take 97%. I'm going to say 87%. 87% of the people out there are in business opportunities, yes. They have a business opportunity, yes. Are they making money? No. They're going to go through transition in 30 to 60 to 90 to 180 days. And if you're pumping out the right content and people see you consistently pumping out the right content, and they don't see you pitching, 17 deals in the next 24 hours, they see that you're a real player and you've got some synergy and you're focused, and you're really building a team, not just recruiting. There's a difference between recruiting. Recruiters don't know how to build businesses. There are something called business builders, right? And business builders will be in a program for at least, a long period of time. So there's a difference. So the point being is you got to ask yourself, what are you? If you're a recruiter, that's great. So, get in the octagon and do your thing. That's great. And if you're a business builder, people are going to be watching you 4 months later. And they're going to be watching you 5 months later. And they're going to be watching you 1 year later. And they want to hear your story, and they want to make sure your story is consistent and it's real. I remember when I was teaching Mentors in Motion, I was teaching that for 6.5 years, I think, just a little over 6.5 years, and had 182,000 people coming to that at $500 a pop. And the really cool thing about that was people would come to me and say, oh my God, like, are you a robot, or are you recorded, or are you an actor? They would say, like, you have never changed your story in 6 years. It's been consistent. So I had people watching the program for a year and a half before they came in. And that was the biggest thing in the world back in 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005 type of thing. And then it mellowed out because of social media a little bit later. So anyhow, the point being is every single one of you on this call tonight that have heard about me. If you don't know me, you've heard my name maybe. You might not have had a conversation with me in this lifetime. And for those of you that have had a conversation with me in this lifetime, including Tracy, who's on the line here as my business partner, you know how we all met? You know how we all, the cause of the effect here? It was all Facebook. Every single one of you that I've met here on this call, all Facebook. Yes, in other business opportunities, but yes, Facebook was attached to the equation. We're all connected. So when somebody says, well, I don't know how to approach these leads, well, once upon a time ago, we were strangers too. Once upon a time ago, I didn't know who you are, didn't know your first name, didn't know where you live. And some of you, we've sat down and we've talked for hours on Messenger or on a phone call or on a Zoom call, and built relationships with other people. Strangers are going to come into your life. That'll be some of your best friends. Incredible relationships will be developed all because of Facebook. So there really is no excuse to say, well, these people are in other business opportunities and people are going to get pitched and they're going to get pitched 3 or 4 or 5,000 times. Who cares? What you argue for in life. You ready for this? This is pretty heavy duty, what I'm going to lay on you right now. What you argue for in life, you get to keep. That's your own bullshit. That's nobody else's. What I argue for, my own opinion, I might have a big ego and say, yeah, my opinion is, no, that's the right way. I own it. People could be laughing at me or saying that guy's an idiot, whatever it is, right? Nobody cares. They really don't care. Some people will care if they agree with you, but that's just the way the world works. We're all entitled to our own opinion. So what you argue for in life, you get to keep. So all of you that are here right now, you might be in business opportunities you might not be in 90 days from now. Something might change that. So what's wrong with building the relationships now and focused on those relationships now? We're all a part of a community. I'm not saying we're a part of a cult. I'm saying we're a part of a community. It's kind of like a friendly community in totally generic, non-threatening way. I think it's a beautiful thing. So I believe it's extremely important more than any other time in my 47 years of being in this industry that people learn that life is an inside job. It's not what you know, it's who you know, and start to become connected. So many people are so unconnected in this industry. It is unbelievable. It's unbelievable how people are unconnected in this industry. So this community will bring people together that would otherwise not be together. Isn't that amazing? So that's got to be pretty cool. And I think you're all really going to enjoy that. So I hope you got the message there tonight. I know I went off on a philosophical tangent, but I analyze this industry. I analyze, the shortcomings, my perception of shortcomings that people have. They really don't understand. And that's why, for me, my personality, I chose by choice, not just to be, a flaky person in the industry. I chose to be a scholar in this industry so that if I were to ever get on a platform, I would win the debate 100% of the time. And again, that's my own baggage. Would I win the debate 100% of the time? Maybe, maybe not. But at least I'm bringing my game to that level. So I have confidence going into a conversation. So I'm not a nitwit marketer. I want to know everything about this industry. I want to know everything about people. And, this community, believe it or not, it's not just about $50 in a comp plan. You are really going to get some personal growth and development through this community along the way, meeting fabulous people. There's great teachers and mentors on this call right now that I'm looking at. Great knowledge, great wisdom. And these people, can use this as a platform as well too. So I'm excited about the future here. I'm excited about the connection. Yeah, we do have an advertising portal in the back office too with credits and whatnot. And I think it's really cool that we have the opportunity before you go into the back office to be able to have this wall that goes up and then you have to do 5 clicks. We're looking at a way to modifying that because we know most people are, it's just unfortunate human behavior, fast and furious, microwave marketers. Some people just click on there very quickly to get to the back office. They won't do the honor roll system or the honorable system anyhow to go back there and make a comment or love, like, and heart. So we're going to look for a way to make that a little bit tighter too, so we can force people to do a little bit of work instead of taking the easy street or the path of least resistance, getting into the back office. For me, it's about being a little bit philanthropic in life and helping your fellow man, your fellow woman out there, and enhancing there's just too many hit and runs out there, and I have an issue with that personally. Not to bring that to the call, but FB Lead Gen was about creating a great environment where people could benefit for the goodness of others as well too. And by the way, we do have a compensation plan that does pay people. Jeremy, are you out there? I just want to see if Jeremy was able to get on here. Tracy, do you see Jeremy out there by chance?
No, I don't see him. I don't see any Jeremys.
No, Jeremy. He was supposed to be on the call here. Let me just take a
Maybe
fast
something
and I
popped up.
just I just talked to him and okay, so he's got, yeah, something did happen and pop up. So anyhow, when we put this together, we took a look at all the other business opportunities, and we wanted to do something a little bit different. Now, we all have our own philosophical approach. We all have our own personal biases about compensation plans and whatnot. And we will have a PowerPoint presentation for you coming up in the very near future here. Like I told you, this thing took off 2 weeks too soon uh, in a good way. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that in a good way. But what I want to tell you is this. So we looked at various different compensation plans out there, and we didn't want to do ranks, and we didn't want to put hoops and hurdles in here. I hope that's okay. Some of you are probably going to come to me later and say, "Oh, I think you should have did this in the compensation plan, and I think you should have did this in the compensation plan. You should have did that in the compensation plan." And I'm going to come back to you and say, go start your own company. See if you got the money and the courage and the guts to pull something off like this. Takes a lot to do this. I know some big leaders in the industry that have millions of dollars, but they wouldn't have the courage to start their own company if their life depended on it. They would still need to piggyback on somebody else's vision, but they like to give advice, and I get that. And I don't mind taking advice, but I think we're going to stick. One of the things that people don't like is change. We're not going to change the compensation plan. I sure hope not, anyhow. So anyhow, we chose the 3x10. We chose a 3x10. We could have did a 2x20. We could have did a 2x14. We could have did a $9.95 membership program. We could have did a 19.95 membership program. There's a lot of things we could have did. But you know what? We didn't want to, go down too low, and we didn't want to go too high. We wanted to find something kind of in between. I'm a really big advocate of prosperity consciousness. I'm not really big on poverty, and I don't live in a world of poverty, and I don't let my kids be a part of that type. It's just the way we live. And I'm not saying there's anything totally wrong with that, but I was there before, and I don't want to play that game. I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like to have a nervous breakdown, knowing that I don't even have $250 for rent. And I'm not saying that as a sob story, and I'm not saying that as a made up story that other people make up along the way. But you know what? That was true. But now that my world is a little bit different, thanks to evolving and growing and tapping into the understanding of what's going on in our industry here. We wanted to find something fair, but we didn't want to come out at $900 or $600 or $500 or $400. So the number was $50. I don't know exactly what the story was behind that, but we talked about 49.95 and somehow got to $50. So when you come into this for $50 in a 3x10, 3, 9, 27, 81, 243, all the way down 10 levels deep. Oh, and by the way, if just in case some of you are going to ask me this question, do you only get the leads within 10 levels? No, you get the totality of the company. Anything underneath you, complete totality. So, excuse me, for $50 a month, some of you could go out there and spend $200-300 a month on solo ads and totally get scammed and cheated and burned on that deal like I did. Like I told you, I spent $9,700 just in a few months playing around, testing, and Jeremy was a part of that. And we did it as a co-op. We tested and everything. That was a total disgraceful bust, but it was a great experience, believe it or not, because this whole FB lead gen concept would not be around if it wasn't for those that took our money and sent us shitty traffic. All right. So anyhow, what was it I wanted to tell you? I'm trying to remember here where I was with all this talking about traffic. No, you get the full database within the 3x10 and beyond the 3x10. So if 27,642 people were in here after you'd get 26,342 people. Now multiply that times $2. Multiply that times 50 cents. Is that pretty good value for $50? And then the really cool thing is when somebody asked me the other day, how much does this business, if I wanted to join your FB lead gen program, how much would it cost me? They, if you ask me that question, here's the answer I'm going to give you. I'm going to look at you and I'm going to go, what do you mean cost? I'll probably say that to you. What do you mean cost? If you like what you hear and you like what you see and you want to work directly with me, it'll cost you nothing. Zero money out of pocket. Is that something you can afford? Yes or no? That's and that's it. Game over. Like I'm totally mystified at the level of consciousness I'm thinking why people ask what the cost is, unless they're serious. But never cost should never be an issue in developing prosperity. Cost should never be an issue in bettering your life and putting more things on the table and moving out of a rental property into a house if that's what you want to do. Cost should never get in the way of living the dream. That's what I believe. And you don't have to buy that. That's just me. I'm a little bit psychotic anyhow. So that's why I live on a different street. So anyhow, my point being is for $50, you're in a 3x10. And if you want to break even, so how many people does it take to break even in your average company? I don't know. What does it take? 20, 30 people? 60, 70? Nah. How about 7, 8, 9, or 10? Is that fair enough? Well, here you can actually be in profit with two sales. Well, why would you be in profit with two sales? Because anyone you personally sponsor, you get paid a $25 fast start month after month after month. That's a recurring fast start. It's not a one time. It's not one time. It's month after month after month. So you got 25 and 20. If you bring two people in, 25 and 25, how much did you make? You made $50. What does it cost to cover your cost? $50. Well, you're in the program, it costs you nothing. Some people did that in their first 37 seconds. Some people did it in their first 7.9 minutes. Some people did it in their first half a day. Some people did it in 3, 4 days, 5 days, whatever. Two people. All you have to do is find two people somewhere in the world that are on Facebook that want to get paid for being on Facebook and potentially develop one of the most powerful, potent lists in the world in marketing. You will never get a list like this anywhere in the world for $50 a month and have it constantly being added onto and added onto. It's genius. The whole concept is genius when you really understand what's going on here. And not only do you get $50, I didn't want to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you. Not only do you get $50, but believe it or not, you get $52 because each sale is worth $26 to you. Well, why is each sale worth $26 to you? Because we do something that other compensation plan, companies normally don't do. We're going to pay you on the first level plus the fast start. So if you sponsored me tonight, you're going to make $25 instantly plus $1. We pay $1 10 levels deep. Fill a 3x10, there's $88,000. Do half of a 3x10, there's $44,000. Do, 1/4 of a 3x10, there's $22,000 a month coming in. Do 10%. Well, I don't know what that is. I'm just never very good at math, but you're probably making over $5,000 a month. $8,800 a month estimated at 10% of the matrix. How many of you could live off $8,800 a month on $1 bills, not including the $25? If you sponsored, if some of you that have the big list that I kind of talked about, or you develop people, and there's so many people out there on Facebook that are doomed for failure. And right now you're sitting on a call tonight that I believe personally is the holy grail to network marketing, getting paid to sit on Facebook and be unproductive if you want. Just invite people to a community and get paid. Well, what do I get out of the community? You get the opportunity to mingle with phenomenal people and develop your list. And I remember all the gurus out there on the internet, every time I go to one of those guru calls, whether it be, Todd Falcone, Ray Higdon, Diane Hockman, or, all of them, they're all telling me every day, Val, is build your list. If you're not building your list, you're a complete idiot. You're not in the game. Run it through your list, run it through your list, run it through your list. Apparently the list is the magic key to the kingdom in this industry. So I think if people don't want to pay $50 to basically, have the ultimate lifestyle. What is it you want? What is it that you all want here? You want to buy a new house in the next year? You want to pay your car off, credit card, and any you thinking of moving and you need an extra seven, eight, $9,000 to do it, extra 20, $30,000 to do it. Would you spend $50 to basically make that dream come true? And if the $50 didn't have to come out of your Hip City Pocket Bank, which is 2 inches below your belt, would you pay the $50 that wasn't yours anyhow in the first place? You probably threw it on a credit card. The credit card company lent you the money for 30 days. You got a little bit of financing there, and you made so much money here that you're able to pay the credit card company off before they ever sent you an invoice. Somebody comes in here, they throw it on a credit card, they make $6,000 their first week. Do you think that was a smart move, or do you think that was a dumb move? Give that some thought. So anyhow, $25 every single month for everyone you personally sponsor. Anyone they personally sponsor, we've had some people that have sponsored over 100 people here already. They got $2,500 a month coming in automatically right there. But whoever sponsored those individuals too, they will they will also get $5 for everyone they sponsor. So there's a second generation of sponsorship. 25 for anyone you sponsor and $5 for everyone they sponsor. So you could have very easily, you never know who you're going to bring in this business. Somebody might go out there and put some really big dents in Facebook groups out there and haul a whole bunch of people in here. And you'd get $5. Somebody brought 100 people and there's $500 guaranteed for you every single month. Plus all the $1 in the matrix. So how can you say no to something that everybody claims they want? Do you know what I'm saying? How could somebody honestly say no to something that they claim they need, want, desire? They only would say no to something like that as if they were into an abusive relationship with themselves. They felt unworthy. Because I honestly believe this is the answer. I don't want to go out there and pitch everything on the internet. I don't want to go out there and pitch 19 different deals and 37 deals. And I just want, I just want to create a community and bring a lot of great people together. Almost like a campfire. And then, over a period of time, you can cultivate, build relationships. Maybe somebody's got some great information for you. Maybe you got some great information for them. But you wouldn't have known those people if we didn't create this program. And if you weren't a part of this program, and if you didn't partake in this program. So for people to turn their back and walk away from a business opportunity like this, a community like this, would be like, breaking one of the 10 commandments. It's like saying, I hate people. It's like saying, I hate money. It's like saying, I'm not a true entrepreneur at heart. I think I'll just go back and do what I'm doing. Nothing. Making no money. Having no engagement, but just, wallowing in pity parties. A lot of people do that. And I'm not saying that in a facetious way. I'm just saying, I came from a world of, being a social worker. I don't know if any of you know what a social worker is, but that's counseling people. And I can't begin to tell you how many people, for some psychological reason, which I'm not going to get into on tonight's call, love being in toxic relationships, not only with others, but themselves. And there's a lot of that going on in social media right now. And we have the opportunity to change that. So when you hear people out there saying, wow, this business opportunity changed lives, I don't believe that in a heartbeat. It's not the business opportunity, it's the people. It's all about the people. You know what the greatest tool, most powerful tool in the universe is in order to make money? Not AI. It's you. Because you're going to decide whether you move forward, move backwards, or stay stuck in the middle. Everything else is not even relevant until you and I make a decision. Nothing is relevant until you and I make a decision. And I hope for everyone's sake out there that you see the value in what it is that we're doing here. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about your footsteps and, your footsteps, every footstep you take out there on the internet. It's all about you and the seeds that you're planting, good, bad, or ugly. So we have an opportunity. I'm not going to say we have an opportunity to change lives, but I'll say this, because that's a little bit too hypey for me. But I'll say we have an opportunity to help a lot of people out there that would otherwise remain stuck. So for those of you that are sitting on this call, I'm going to close this call off here now. So for those of you that are sitting on this call tonight and you haven't upgraded to your $50 position yet, if I didn't give you enough reason to upgrade, I'm not, I don't know what's going to force you to upgrade because I'm handing you everything that we ever wanted in this industry. And the only way you're going to make money in this industry, or I'm going to make money in this industry, is to empower people. But if we refuse to empower people with the right information and the right tools and the right communities, we're doing everyone a disservice. You know, I really, really think we are. So I think it's your God-given duty. And if you don't believe in God, I do apologize for that. I'm not here to preach religion, but in the world that I live in, I think it's our God-given duty to share this information with people. I really, really do. And I hope you feel the same way. So anyhow, I'm going to let you go on tonight's call. We'll be running. I'll just give you some information because I know some of you want to ask questions. I'm not going to do that here right now tonight because it's a Sunday night, Sunday night jam session. Here's what I want to say to you. We will have a PowerPoint presentation coming up here in the very near future, like really soon, and I will create a regular Zoom call. Tonight was just me doing a sermon tonight. This is not what you're going to hear in a regular, you know, business opportunity meeting. I'll get a little bit more specific and precise, and I won't drag it on for those of you that got bored. And then some of you probably said, "Wow, that was a great call. Did you hear that guy speak tonight? Nah, that guy talked too long, blah, blah, blah." So that's what I mean. You got two worlds, right? The right and the wrong. So anyhow, we will have a call schedule. Hope you get the calls done within 20 minutes, 25 minutes tops, maybe 5 minutes for some Q&A along the way. Oh, one of the things I do want to tell you, I do apologize. I'm going to go off here. Some of you have been asking me, where do I find all these leads? Okay. Go in the back office, click My Team. Did you hear that? Click My Team, click View Team, and then there's another click, Extract. And that'll take you to the list of all the people. So in the menu, My Team, View Team, Extract. And if anyone wants to turn that into a rap song, feel free to do that. My Team, View Team, Extract. You feel free to do that, write the lyrics, and we'll create some music to that. All right. And we will have some videos in the back office. Please know, appreciate your patience. You've heard that in every other business opportunity. You're going to hear it again. Appreciate your patience. We will have video tutorials up there. We will have recordings up there as well that people can tap into so they can watch a video and see step by step how they can get to this and how they can get to that and how they can extract this and how they can extract that and how they get more credits or, whatever it is they want. We're working on tutorials. So this can be a tutorial situation. So we can eliminate, customer support stuff that we're all usually familiar with every business opportunity we get involved in, right? This isn't done and that's not done and this isn't done and that sucks and this sucks and, yeah, whatever. I get it. Been there, done that many, many times. But you know what? The beautiful thing is we pay. We've been paying prematurely. We've been paying out commissions. So it's never been a pre-launch or any kind of launch here. We said, hey, everybody, send us tens of thousands of dollars and let's get 50,000 people in this first. And we'll collect all the money and then maybe we'll pay you guys out commissions, at the end of August. No, not the end of August, the end of July. No, not the end of July. Maybe the end of June. No, not the end of June. Maybe June 15th. We don't play that game here. We've been paying anyone that's ever requested commissions has been paid. So that's a beautiful thing. When you're out there on the internet and, you hear detractors out there or anything like that, there's all kinds of, people that are dealing with side effects from certain things that they did in the past. And, we pay. We're not here to play games with anybody. We're not here to, duplicate what other companies do and take people's money and run. We are paying out accordingly, and we really do genuinely want to help people. If that wasn't our philosophy, I can tell you I would not be on this call tonight because I can't represent any of that stuff. I'm kind of like a vigilante in this industry. I don't like to get pissed off. It's not a good thing. All right. All right. So I didn't mean to bring that up on tonight's call, but again, this is just a Sunday night sermon. Just want to be straight up transparent. Let's rock it out. Let's make some fabulous things happen here. And I really appreciate you all. Love you all in spirit. Hope you have a great journey in this industry. I hope you have a great journey working with us. And don't be afraid to make money. Don't be afraid to discover about other people on this internet platform that we all live on. I've met some of my best friends and closest people and best relationships have all been because of Facebook. And that's just me. I can't say for you, but I love meeting people on Facebook. So I really think this business, this community is going to be a great way to enhance our connections, our relationships, our lifelong friends, and find people that we know, like, and trust. And we'll be able to eliminate those that we don't know, like, or trust. And this will be a great project to do that in. All right. Love you all in spirit. Have an amazing night. God bless you all. And look forward to sending you out the next email. Take care. Bye for now.